Power Season 1 just ended, so here's a quick recap in case you don't want to waste your time watching the whole thing, or if you just wanted a reminder before watching Season 2. Let's go. We go in plot by plot in every episode so that it's easier to follow. We start with Galadriel's brother dying, fighting Morgoth. So she does what any normal sister would do and steals his dagger from his dead body. And then she vows to go on a lifelong mission to kill Sauron. Castle in the snowlands in the north where Sauron was last spotted. We find that Sauron was doing evil sorcery that Galadriel can't figure out. So unhappy about it, Galadriel returns to London with her whole crew. There, King Gilgalad at the doors of heaven. At least she knows that she's not worthy. So she jumps into the ocean to swim back to Middle-earth. Also meet the people of the Southlands. These people are being watched over by the elves because they used to be tight back in the good old days with Morgoth. So the elves think that they are still bad. Here a healer known as Bronwyn is hooking up with one of the elves, probably because of his fresh trim that he got. The elf is called Arondir and her son finds a mysterious sword hilt but doesn't tell anyone about it. Before the episode ends, Bronwyn and Arondir go to the next door village and see that everyone there is missing. These people stay alive by migrating and hiding from everything else in the world. We meet a Norian Poppy. At the end of this episode, we see a massive meteor coming down and crashing into
Gandalf.
As this happens, the leaves down in Lindon start to rot away, which scares the elves. Inside the crash site, Nori and Poppy find a wizard laying there. He wakes up, but he has no control over his powers and can't itch whilst they try to figure out how to help him find the stars he's looking for. Meanwhile, Barbara Elf finds some tunnels and decides to jump in instead of warning his fellow elves, whilst the healer Bronwyn goes back to warn her village. They don't believe her until she kills an orc with her son and brings its head to them. They then decide to go to the elves' watchtower. Whilst in the tunnels, Arondir gets kidnapped. Back in Elf Town, Elrond is made to help Celebrimbor in the construction of a massive tower across the mountain time. How long Galadriel finds a raft with people on it, but a massive worm kills them all, apart from one man who saves Galadriel from the storm later on. This man is known as Halbrand, and Galadriel believes he's the king of the Southlands because he has a pouch with a symbol on it. They float around until they get picked up by a Númenórean ship. When Galadriel and Halbrand arrive at Númenor, Galadriel tries to force Queen Muriel to send her back to Middle-earth, but Númenor and the elves are not as tight as they used to be, so she says no. Halbrand really tries to work in the forge, but commits a few crimes like stealing, breaking bones, which land him in prison. Here, Galadriel also finds out that the symbol Sauron has been leaving everywhere. It's just a fragment.
I love this.
Because that's
cool scene.
Home for the orcs. The wizard accidentally reveals himself, which leads to Nori and her family being put at the back of the line, despite her dad having a broken foot. This would undoubtedly be a death sentence, as the Harfoots don't care if anyone is left behind and don't stop for anyone. But luckily for them, the strong big wizard feels bad and offers to pull Nori's cart for her so that they have a chance to live and stay with the group. Luckily for him, all his elf friends are there. The elves try to escape, but they are killed apart from our Barbara, who meets Adar, elf in charge of the orcs. It turns out Adar is not Sauron, he is just a very old elf, and he classifies the orcs as his children. He sends Arondir back to the people to tell them to surrender, and it turns out that the sword hilt that Theo found earlier is exactly what Adar and the orcs need to fulfill their plan. We find out that the sword was hidden by Waldreg, the tavern owner, who is still a big Sauron fan. Inside the mountain, Elrond accidentally finds out that the dwarves
I like the dwarves. I really
very
did.
precious but dangerous to obtain. Durin accepts to
It's
help
awesome.
the elves build their tower.
Durin
Sends his
was
son to spy
great.
on the elves to find out what they know and to like this video. In Númenor, the princess has a vision of Númenor flooding. Then shares the destruction of Númenor vision.
I always thought this was Gondor,
Galadriel,
but yeah, it's obviously it's not the time.
No. Isildur, who we've seen in the previous episode, but he didn't do anything, gets kicked off the Sea Guard with his friends because he wasn't feeling it, but they all decide to join the army going to Middle-earth. Galadriel, Mira and Halbrand finally decide that they will leave after Galadriel emotionally blackmailed Halbrand, making him feel bad for not helping his people. However, some guy, Kemin, tries to blow up the ships that they prepared to sail. In a massive luck of events, Isildur was on the same ship trying to stall away as his dad did not let him go. So the ship explodes, permission slip, but as a stable boy, so he can go to Middle-earth. Back in Lindon, Elrond learns that Gilgalad sent him to the dwarves for the Mithril, as it can stop the decay that has been growing since episode 1. Prince Durin wants to save his friend, so they go back home to persuade his dad to help heal his arm, so she feels a bit iffy about him. In the Southlands, the villagers hear the message brought by Arondir, and half of them, led by Waldreg, decide to go join the orcs because they don't want to die, which is fair enough. The other half stays to fight, led by the healer Bronwyn. Theo shows the sword hilt to Arondir, and he shows a carving showing that is a key to help the orcs. They're prepared to fight. Adar and his bunch of friendly orcs go to the tower to only find Arondir there. They set a trap and he makes the tower fall onto the orcs by shooting one rope together. The villagers then go back to their village to prepare for the rest of the villagers win, but it turns out they were fighting their old village buddies. Then Bronwyn gets shot and Adar comes with the real army. To stop his mom getting her throat cut, Theo hands the sword key to Adar. But as that happens, the Númenóreans arrive with their army, fully Gandalf at Helm's Deep style. They kill most of the orcs but capture some with Adar. Galadriel tries to interrogate him about Sauron, but she doesn't get anything out of it apart from the fact that he killed him. Then we find out that Wardreg was given the key by Adar earlier on, and he puts it into the dam. The key opens up the dam, which releases the stored water, which travels through the tunnels that the orcs were building straight into the dormant volcano. This water then makes the volcano erupt and causes the whole area to be covered with hot black smoke and volcanic ash. And Galadriel faces it head on. In the fire and smoke, lots of people were hurt, and Queen Miriel loses her sight. Galadriel escorts Theo back to the camp where she sees Halbrand is fatally wounded. So she decides to ride with him to Lindon so the elves can help him. Before this, she makes a pinky promise with Miriel that Númenor will help the elves fight the orcs again. Elrond and Prince Durin arrive in Khazad Dûm and plead his dad to help, but he says no, because it will endanger his own people. So they do it anyways. After they've seen a piece of mithril heal a rotten leaf. They don't mind for long before King Durin catches them. He kicks Elrond out and disinherits his son for not following his orders. Meanwhile, at the Harfoots camp, they kick out the wizard because he accidentally dropped a branch on Nori's sister while trying to heal the trees. 3 witches arrive at the camp that have been looking for the wizard for a few episodes now, and Nori tries to send them the wrong way, and they burn the whole camp down and move on with their day. The witches then find the wizard and believe that he is Sauron, but they tie him up because he can't use his magic properly yet, so I guess they're scared of him. Seeing this, Nori and her little gang tries to save him, but in the end the wizard saves them, as he is not in fact Sauron, shocker, but an Istari, and sends the 3 women into the Shadow Realm. The leader of the Harfoots dies in this rescue mission after being stabbed, and they leave him to die as they return to camp. Nori then decides to go with the stranger on an adventure to Rune so that he can learn to control his magic.
Cute.
Queen Miriel arrives back in Númenor to find that her father had died. Just before he died though, she showed Isildur's sister his secret chamber. Finally, Galbrand arrive at Eregion. Here Halbrand helps the mighty Celebrimbor to forge the little mithril they had with other metals to make it stronger. Whilst this is happening, Galadriel finds Halbrand a little bit sus, so she does some extra research and learns that he is indeed Sauron. Shocker. He tries to make her his queen, but she says no. She doesn't tell Celebrimbor or Elrond that he was in fact Sauron, and carries on forging what his idea was, but making 3 instead of 1. You outplayed him there. So they make the 3 elven rings, despite her knowing Sauron had extra involvement with them and it was part of his plan. We end with Halbrand or Sauron being back in Mordor, walking towards Mount
I remember
Doom.
that.
But it was in the show, so I stuck to the original material. Did you watch the show? Are you looking forward to season 2? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
My God, I forgot how much was happening in there.
Really? No,
I was just
it's
watching, I was
surprisingly-
like, okay, yeah, that happened, that happened,
Yeah,
that happened.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was just like, fuck.
Exactly,
sake.
but the thing is, when you watch this, you really remind
Holy
yourself, right?
shit, yeah.
It's not that it's something. Oh, I don't remember that. You actually remember that shit. There was so much going on.
Yeah.
But I guess the main point is that there's Sauron, and we know who it is. There's Galadriel, and she is bent on killing Sauron, right? And
think so.
we finally got to see the rings in the title, and the only
Yeah.
thing we don't know who is the wizard.
Yeah.
I think it will be, frankly, it will be either Gandalf or one of the blues. There are 2 blue wizards, which I don't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Yes.
They were in Silmarillion. So probably, I know people complain about this series for the choice of cast and for the shallowness of dialogues and I guess mismatch with what Tolkien had in mind. But to me, I just treat it as like a piece of entertainment inspired by Tolkien. And for me, that's good enough to pay attention to it. I just really enjoy Middle Earth and everything that comes with it. Like, I'm not nerding out on the details because I just never been into history of anything. I'm terrible with names, terrible with following the story. So I'm just taking it on face value, and therefore I'm highly enjoying it. I'm just not making that emotional bond with that piece of art to get mad about. I'm just watching. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, good effects. Fun. Okay, nice. Okay, good. Thank you. Next.
I don't know, cause I don't remember all the story,
Mm.
how Tolkien wrote it, how
Yeah.
he intended it. So the things I do know, they do bother me, like the elves, for example.
The way they look.
Yeah, they just look like Mr. Bean with long hair.
They do.
So
They really
it's-
do.
I can't. It doesn't make any sense. I know how elves are supposed to look like,
Oh yeah.
and Lee Pace as Thranduil was the peak. Like
Yeah.
he looked like an elf is supposed to
It
look.
is literally
It
the
was
template for an
epitome
elf.
For an elf.
Yeah.
And then you have those ugly ass bitches in there.
Yeah,
And
if you
can't.
cut their legs short, they would be dwarfs.
They could be hobbits.
They could be hobbits.
Like it's ridiculous because you're saying like you don't care. But there are things in the hobbits that are wrong. And it annoys you as well. I know it annoys me.
Well, I know they're bad. I know they're there. Oh, bad. I mean, they're definitely like the Tariel, right? The whole thing about Tariel.
Yes.
It doesn't exist in the book.
Yeah.
But I don't care because the whole movie is good. Like, there's Tariel is fucking stupid that dwarf would fall in love with an elf, or even more stupid
I don't
that
care.
elf
I
would
mean,
fall in love with a dwarf.
I mean, that could happen. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't care. But why are they in the movie at all? Why did they add it? Why did they add Legolas as well? Just cut this shit out.
I
Like,
guess
what the
it
hell?
was to glue together Lord of the Rings with the
It
Hobbit
didn't need gluing. It was already glued together.
by Tolkien.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bilbo, the ring, like that was the glue that was holding it all together. Like it's one story. You had like Gandalf in there throughout both of them. Like it really didn't need that extra thing in there.
I think it was so Legolas particularly. I think it's such a iconic character in Lord of the Rings movie, and because Hobbit came out after Lord of the Rings movies, they used Legolas as a anchoring point. Oh, Legolas! I remember Legolas.
I just think they shouldn't. I don't think it was a good call.
It just appealed to more people because
I'm not
of
sure if
the
it did.
Legolas.
I'm not sure if it did because he's an asshole in that movie, kind of.
I didn't. So if
like,
I
I know it shows his growth and his progress.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't think he needed that.
I'm thinking if I ask my dad what character he knows from Lord of the Rings, he hadn't watched any of the movies. He probably knows about Frodo and Legolas.
Maybe.
So at least that's
don't
something he can relate to when hearing about Hobbit. I don't know. So this Rings of Power, it just gives me another window into the Tolkien's world, and I appreciate for what it is. I'm not
it's
here to
not a
hate.
Tolkien's world probably anymore.
No, it's
This
inspired
much.
by it.
Inspired.
But
yeah.
still, there is Middle Earth, there's Galadriel, there's shit going, and it just gives me the entertainment. I don't know. It's just all I need from it. I'm not gonna.
I don't know, cause you know, like you have Witcher games
Yeah.
that are based off of books,
Yes.
and they respect the story.
Mm-hmm.
They go kind of where the book leads them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a massive success. And then you have a series, and it varies from the stories.
It's a
it
flop.
varies
Yeah.
from the books, and it flopped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do you need to change things that are already good? Don't try to make them better, but because like most of the cases you can't. You're not gonna make it better. No,
There's no way you can build a better world than
No.
the author himself.
it's not gonna happen. So just
Mhm.
stick to the original story. You already have a good thing going.
Yeah, but those people had to make a statement for themselves,
Yeah,
and they used
you
that.
know what the
yeah.
statement is? A flop.
A flop. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
that
what-
absolutely.
Do you want that kind of statement?
And the
No.
funny thing is, it happened with so many series. I mean,
yeah.
case in point, like Rings
Yeah.
of Power, And yet all the screenwriters and movie producers, they repeat the same mistake.
They keep doing
Just
it.
use this fucking book, shut the fuck up, enjoy the glory. I mean, Peter Jackson took Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
turned it into movie.
Yeah.
People fucking hold him to a legend
Yes.
status. Yeah. So I was gonna show it to you guys in a second, but I have an article about how much the actors got paid for being in Lord of the Rings movie. And Blanchett, who played Galadriel,
Yeah.
she said she got paid in sandwiches. She just played because she loves Peter Jackson's movies. And she was there for him because she knew he would do the great job
Yeah.
for the Tolkien and his fans.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So it's pretty much like Henry Cavill felt about Witcher, and he quit the minute he showed the showrunners just took a different direction.
Exactly.
And by the way, did you know that this is like a random tangent, but somehow related to all this sort of wokeness going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Microsoft removed their whole like diversity inclusive division from their company. They just cut it off.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck it. Because it's not making any money anyway, and they always been about money. And as long as diversity, equality, and inclusion DEI make money as a PR stunt, they will keep it. But the minute people wake up, they cut it off.
Of course.
And so wake the fuck up, people. Come on, just make good things and fuck about. Just ignore that bullshit.
Because I keep saying that people are not against inclusion, diversity, anything like.
No.
They are against it being forced.
Mm.
So if you take Witcher, which is an established character,
Yeah.
and you try to make him gay, it didn't happen.
No,
but I'm
no,
saying,
no,
like,
yeah,
if
sure.
it did happen, people are gonna get angry.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they're gonna get angry. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
So just don't try to force it. Just do it naturally. Wherever it can be done naturally.
I think the worst part is when you sell it to people as something you care about, but then it shows that you didn't care about. You cared about for wrong reason, money.
Yeah.
So take an example, Tracer in Overwatch.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian.
Yeah.
But not in Qatar.
Well, of course. Yeah. But then you lose good people because, listen, Saruman, played by Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
He wanted to play in Lord of the Rings so badly because he's such a big fan, and it's kind of the same as Galadriel, right? Like you can get those amazing people who are going to be there for you, and they're going to do anything to help you do the vision, as long as you respect the vision.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Henry Cavill playing Witcher, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it at the beginning. I think a lot of people didn't know how they felt about it, but then The Witcher came out. And it was brilliant. It was absolutely amazing, and I loved him as Witcher. Like, he was born to play that role. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And then they fucked it up. They had budget. They had people watching it and loving it.
Yeah.
And they had the best actor ever, who was fan of the series. Like, he still is, I'm sure. And he was so into it. He had the knowledge. He had the passion for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucked it up so badly.
Mm-hmm.
It's never going to happen again. Chad, you probably don't know. In Poland, there was a Witcher series that was playing on TV. But obviously, because it was made in Poland, it was really bad. Like, it was really bad.
It was.
So, it's never going to happen again. Like, this was the shot to do a Witcher properly. Mm-hmm. This was, I think, the only one, because no one's going to do it again. And if they try, like, they're not going to have the same resources. Like, this was it. And they fucked it up.
I don't think.
I'm just so sad.
I don't think you can say it will never happen. Movies get killed and then resurrected with different cast, different budget.
I know.
You can't say never.
I know.
But I think they had everything going for them.
Was the perfect situation.
Not only huge Polish community, which is okay. I mean, I know it's not much in the world, in the scale of the world. It's fine, but this is where it all started.
Yeah.
We had Sapkowski with Polish community behind him. And Polish community doesn't only live in Poland. They live across the world. They probably share the news with friends and shit. So that's a good foundation.
Yeah.
You had the game, which made the whole franchise world-class known.
Yes,
and then you only had to do is fucking use your camera to tell the same story on Netflix. You had everything going for you, and you fucked it up.
Yes.
So yeah,
There-
we're gonna get to Witcher in a second too, because I
There's
have
7 or 8 books in that series. I
7. I
don't
think
remember
7.
anymore, but 7 books.
Aren't there behind me?
No, they're there.
Oh, I can't count. Blocked.
I can see from here, but
Yeah.
there's like 7 books. There's so much material. There's games that have additional material. Like, come on.
Oh, Gwent. That's the card game that came
there
out.
is a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a card game. But I'm so
Yeah.
sad about it.
It is sad. It is sad. So let's see the trailer. For the it's actually this trailer is better than the whole season 1. If I quote some people,
Okay.
it's
let's see.
already
Let's see it.
Sauron sees himself as master of all Middle-earth. He seeks to rule it not only through conquest,
so good.
but by bending the minds of all its peoples to his own. And for that he needs not armies,
No!
but rings.
In choosing to wear those rings, you have all become his collaborators.
I know you believe this ring is deceiving me, but I believe it is guiding me.
All this may be by his design.
These rings may be how he attains power.
They must be destroyed.
We will discuss the rings once you have answered the question. Who is this man?
He is no man. He deceived me. He is Sauron.
What am I to call you? A sharer of gifts. Our work begins now.
That looks
I
good.
have walked across mountains and deserts to help my friend find his destiny. One the fate of the world may depend on.
Is it my task to stop the fire? Is it my task to face Sauron? To try and cheat death might lead to an even greater catastrophe.
I'm afraid, Durin.
Every soul in Middle-earth is in peril. Will you abandon them to their doom?
No, what have you done to me?
Leave Sauron to me.
Promise me, Elrond. You will not stop until he is destroyed.
Forgiveness takes an age.
I need your axe, old friend.
Fight with me. Fight with our friends! When the darkness falls, there are always some who rise forth and shine. You will give me the nine.
I'm so ready.
I can't look at those elves. When I watch it, I need to keep reminding myself that it's elves that I'm watching.
Really?
Yes, I need to keep like, oh, elves.
Fuck.
No, I mean they look like hobbits.
I'm okay.
I
So
can't.
so apart from that, first of all, I didn't know we had desert in Middle Earth.
Yeah, that doesn't look like Middle Earth.
It looks like
it's-
Ewoks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It-
pretty much.
Or like Dune.
Yeah,
something like
Dune.
or,
What was the name of the
Star
planet?
Wars.
Tabu
Yeah.
from Star Wars.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we got Ewoks. I don't know where that comes from, but I bet there's someone in the comments to explain. We'll find that in a second.
Yeah, it's weird.
Rin. We got Shelob.
Yeah, but
Uh,
how come we already have 9 rings?
Yeah,
not 9,
Nazgul,
but
yeah.
the rings for dwarves. How many was there?
21?
What, for dwarves?
No. For those 7, I think.
Yeah, because 9 for people, 7. Yeah, so you had 7 for dwarves. When did that happen?
Well, I think here. It was
They
there.
made them?
Huh?
They made them
Yeah.
in this
Yeah, literally here.
season 2? Okay.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, there was this short moment. Oh, there you go. Here.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they're making them here.
Okay.
But we have the desert. We have what's his name? Bombadil. We have Tom Bombadil. We have the spider Shelba.
But there was
Shelob,
also,
sorry.
there was also a wizard. I put a hat on. I'm trying to think
That was
which
Tom
one it was.
Bombadil.
That was Tom Bombadil?
Yeah.
Why
And
does he have a wizard hat?
wait, he's here somewhere talking to the actual Istari. This is Tom Bombadil here.
Takes an age.
I like the Ettins though.
This
one.
is
Okay.
Tom. And he speaks with Wizard later. Yeah, you're very right. I forgot, by the way, the guy who played King Philip. Sorry, Prince Philip. And The Crown,
yeah.
is here. Yeah, forgot about him. Yeah, I don't know who. I can't remember who that is. He was in the previous recap from season 1. But I think I'm the most excited about seeing dwarves. I absolutely love how they made dwarves in Rings of Power. Their accent, their scenery. Like I know, I heard some kind of claims that it's weird that dwarves have trees in their kingdom. Yeah. But other than that, they're really cool. I love them. I don't know. I'm hyped.
They're okay. I mean, they kind of fit the bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the-
Every time I
yeah.
pick up on dwarves not having accent, I feel like I'm being cheated.
Because you've been programmed to have dwarves with a certain accent
Yeah.
by the game.
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
when you take World of Warcraft, you have Tolkien, anything. Dwarves always have Scottish accent, and
Yeah.
to me that's dwarf. Just like to you, Witcher is Henry Cavill. I don't know, like just that's yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, this was really cool. We see so much going on here.
It's gonna be intense, I think.
It will be intense. Do you think it kind of gives away who's the wizard?
No.
Where was this fucking wizard? I can't find him.
No, it doesn't matter anyway.
No. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is Gandalf. They're gonna just drop it in. Like, what the fuck? Because
I don't
Gandalf is
know.
immortal.
Seriously, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
But it's interesting. And so, as someone that enjoyed season 1 but wasn't blind to its many faults, so that's pretty much me. This looks like it will be a lot better if the end product is anything like this trailer. True.
Okay.
How much money do we have for CGI? Yes. True.
All of it.
True. There you go. Look, he's no man. He deceived me. Somehow Palpatine returned. Yeah, that was my first thought. We're looking at Ewoks. Like,
sure.
what the fuck?
Yeah, sure.
I do not deny that my heart has greatly desired this wig. Okay.
Wig? Okay.
For another wig was made. Is it really what it sounds like? I don't. It's supposed to be ring, but I don't get it.
I have no clue.
Ring of Power and Mad Max Saga. Yep,
Yup.
true, definitely.
Yep.
Oh my god. My favorite part was when Sauron put on his ring and yelled, "The power of one." Oh my god, Star Wars acolyte again. Yeah. I'm a wig better. That was so stupid. Okay, another one of Die-Hard fans. I'm gonna skip that shit. Tom
Why?
Bomb.
It's a valid point as well.
Wait, should I read it?
You're being biased right now.
No, I'm being tolerant. The effects look good, but the story still doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Okay, let's hear it. Because the thing is, I can't argue with a diehard Tolkien fan because I don't know the Tolkien as well. So whatever he says, I'm like, okay, like, yeah. So Sauron hasn't made the One Ring yet, so he can't control the other rings, which he did not make.
That's what I was thinking. Like we saw the elves rings. That's why I asked you about the dwarves rings, because they were obviously wearing them.
Hey,
so like, where did that happen?
But
so
didn't Sauron tainted those 3 rings?
That's gonna happen here. I don't know. They just created them. What?
Let me get to this scene. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so here we have. What do you guys think about this? So as I've said, I can't wait to watch this. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. And to be totally honest with you, I haven't watched any TV series in months because I've been playing games. I'm not kidding. I'm paying for Apple TV Plus, and there are great series everywhere across the board. I absolutely love all of them. I still can't get myself to sit down on the sofa and watch TV. It's because I just enjoy playing games too much, and we have all those festivals and dailies and legendaries to do in Guild Wars 2. I'm discovering new games like those roguelike games, League of Legends Swarm, Vampire Survivors. I might try Hades when I buy it. Yeah, there's so much stuff coming out. There's the Jantir Wilds. There's the World of Warcraft War Within, right? So I really struggle to shift priorities so that I watch the fucking TV. I used to binge stuff all the time. I would be fucking everywhere on it. But now it completely flipped. And plus, yeah, you guys have to remember, we're having a family over next weekend. So that means I won't be playing as much, which means my deficit level will increase, right? So I will want to play games even more after they left. And so, yeah, I will struggle to find time to watch TV. I don't know.
Did you find the moment?
No, I wasn't looking for it. I was talking.
Fair enough.
These rings may be
A second.
They must be
There is this moment when they drop something into the anvil or whatever that is.
this man?
No. Here, maybe?
Of gifts. Our work begins now.
No, they chopping it up.
I have walked across.
Sauron. To try and cheat death.
Nice. Yeah. No, this
Might lead to
is my favorite part of the trailer. Fuck him.
Father, take off
No.
the ring.
That was by the way, that was the same that happened in Hobbit, right? Between Thorin and his father.
Give me the ring.
Sorry, between Thorin and the rest of the Oakshield army. So he was so consumed by the Arkstone that he was like going insane.
Arkenstone.
Arkenstone, yeah. It seems like
Yeah.
this is happening here with just like.
I mean, it's a little bit different because he had the dragon sickness, as they called it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the gold, the Arkenstone, that he was so obsessed about, the
Maybe.
riches. In here,
So I guess
if we are like true to the story and following,
yeah,
then
the ring
the
controls
ring
him.
control.
Where they actually make the ring. Oh, they're here. Some. Wait. He flips it. No, I think there was a part in this movie where Sauron. Maybe I'm imagining where Sauron just dropped something into the mold, almost as if corrupting the rings that came out of it. But maybe I'm imagining. I don't know.
So much going on in
It's
this
yeah.
trailer that
You
it's
literally
hard to say.
you literally have cutscenes every half a second, just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. Like you don't know what's
Yeah,
happening.
It's difficult to make
But
out
yeah, it's really good.
what it all means.
You gonna watch it?
Well, probably. But yeah, it's just interesting about the timeline because the One Ring was not created yet, technically. Like, it was created in secrecy, so he couldn't have controlled them if he didn't have the One Ring. So
Mm.
that implies that the One Ring already exists.
Which is fine. I don't think it's
I don't know,
problematic here.
It's
So
just hard to make it out. That's what I'm
there's
saying. Like,
yeah,
it's difficult to understand
True,
where
true.
we're at.
true. I'm just I read this somewhere on Reddit that one guy who's like, of course, some kind of huge fan of Tolkien's work. He said that the power behind Tolkien's storytelling
Yeah.
is the simplicity.
Okay.
And what he meant by that is that every character that Tolkien introduces,
Mhm.
he is very blunt about what this character is, what he wants to do,
Yeah.
where he's going. There's no unspoken things about the character. He's
Yeah.
just black and white, transparent.
Yeah.
And as opposed to the Rings of Power,
Mhm.
every character has some kind of secret agenda. There is
Yeah.
hidden meaning in every dialogue and all
Yeah.
of that, which makes it not Tolkien-like and overly complicated to follow.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was just some kind of, let's say, accusation for the show, which again I don't know because I read Silmarillion, I read Lord of the Rings, all the 3 parts. I even started reading the Children of, what's the name? Duriel?
Who did?
No.
I don't remember.
Children
of who something.
So there we go. This is the example of my memory, okay?
Mm.
So I don't remember much about Silmarillion. I know about Lord of the Rings because I watch this shit every other year
Yeah.
on TV. But again, I only know as much as the movie tells me, not as much as the book tells me.
Exactly. Yes.
So I really don't know how to make the show better because I just don't have that comparison with the book. For example, you get annoyed about Witcher because you know the books. I'd never read Witcher, and if I'm taking the movie on the face value, there's not much wrong with it. Okay, it's fun. I know it's entertainment,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Hell, I'm going to cinema to watch Marvel movies, which are usually shallow and stupid and just
Yeah.
nothing to think about.
Yeah, but this is what it is. Like Marvel, it's sure the characters are complicated in their own ways. They have their backstory and all that, but we never read those, and there's so
No.
much that you would need to go back to read to understand
Mhm.
everything. But I think they're staying true to form in a way,
Yeah.
and in here they're not. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when they try to peddle this whole diversity thing and inclusion,
Yeah.
they do it in a way that it makes more sense. Like, for example, when they did Spider-Man Black, they put it in a multiverse. So it was kind of explained that there's different universes. And some of them are black, some of them aren't black. Like, it kind of made sense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take Yennefer and you make her darker, you make her ethnic, it's just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't.
They also do the same with multiverse in Deadpool, their latest Deadpool. You have
Yeah.
hundreds of Deadpools.
Yes.
One is a pig, one is a baby, one is a black man, one
Yeah.
is Japanese, like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it doesn't bother anyone because it's just
Because it's
just
part,
works.
It's part of that world anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you did have the different multiverses in the comic books, like originally. So
Yeah.
this is part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Not something
it's
invented for the need of the
exactly,
movie.
it's not forced into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, so
But in here you also, like, I know I keep getting off on elves, and it's not a massive thing, and I understand that. I really get it that it's not a big thing. But the elves are described in the books. They are really well described in the books. They're described as like tall, good-looking people, like, you know, having this whatever look, and then they go off and hire hobbits to play them. Like, what the fuck?
and yeah, and probably Hobbit is probably the opposite of an elf.
Exactly.
And isn't that elves are direct descendants of Valors? of Valarians, however you say it. Again, my knowledge of the
I don't
words.
remember.
But you
'cause
know,
like
I
you said, I did
Valars, I
read
think. They're
some
Valars, yeah.
books, but then it was so long ago. I
Because
just
you
don't
you had
remember anymore.
grey elves, you had high elves, and they
Yes.
all came from. They were like sent from. I think they were direct descendants of Valars. That's why when we finish Lord of the Rings, they get back to they cross the big sea.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
The
know.
great-
Maybe I just need to read the books again before we dive into
Season
second
2?
season. Yeah.
I would probably read Silmarillion because
yeah.
I think all of this that we watched happens in Silmarillion.
Yeah.
And Silmarillion is really great until you get to like quarter of the book
Mm.
and you reach that tipping point in your memory and the first parts start fading away when the new comes in.
So you have to like at school make notes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like
just-
so it's so fucking interesting how the world came to be and how like the whole thing that Asmongold explained about Sauron, how Balrog,
Yeah.
how it's so that Balrog even exists is
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nothing easy, but yeah, it's good to know. It just gives that
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe we should do like a loud reading. I read a chapter, you read a chapter. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe.